Archangel Michael says, a family member from heaven is revealing this secret location of money. The moon trembled behind torn clouds as something ancient stirred in the silence of your home. You didn't hear a knock. You didn't feel a breeze. But your soul shifted, as if a breath passed through you from another realm. A presence stood just beyond the edge of your vision, familiar, watching, waiting. Not with menace, but with sorrow. Their feet did not touch the ground, and yet they moved with purpose, pacing near the room where memories once bloomed. It was a family member. Someone gone too soon. Someone who once loved you fiercely, then faded beyond your grasp. Their spirit had returned, not for comfort, but for warning. They are not here by chance. The veil between the living and the dead has thinned because something hidden must now be seen. The past has held its tongue long enough. Archangel Michael says this soul has fought through layers of darkness to speak. They've broken the silence of the grave not for revenge, but to reveal a secret they tried to protect in life, and could only whisper in death. This secret has weight. It has currency. It was buried not just in soil, but in silence, in shame, and in sacrifice. What was once meant to be a blessing was hidden to shield it from greedy hands. The spirit reaches for your shoulder, and though they do not touch, you feel heat rising on your skin. A warning flows into your body like static, the kind you feel before lightning strikes. Someone near you tried to take what was never theirs. Inheritance. Resources. Old money. Hidden wealth that bore your name and was erased by forged papers, burned wills, and soft lies. They knew you were the rightful one. They knew your hands were chosen. But they were quicker, louder, closer to the ones who passed. So they used time and grief like weapons, locking away your birthright. God says the vault is not just metaphorical. There is a real place. A room. A box. A safe. A chamber in the ground or behind concrete. It breathes in shadows and holds something wrapped in layers of cloth and secrecy. This soul, your family, saw the deception unfold before they died. They wept silently, watching people you still trust lean into the theft like it was mercy. But mercy does not lie. Mercy does not erase names from records and deeds. You were not forgotten. You were removed. The family spirit speaks in riddles and fragments. You hear numbers. A town. A street. A color. You hear your name, again and again, as if saying it in the afterlife gives you strength in this one. You don't know why tears rise to your eyes, but they do. Not from sadness. From recognition. From memory buried deep suddenly pulling itself into light. Archangel Michael says this is not the end, it is the unraveling. For you to see what was stolen, you must walk the timeline in reverse. You must revisit places you've ignored, and people whose silence now screams with guilt. The Spirit brings you to a memory, long ignored. You as a child in a room with old wallpaper, standing beside a wooden drawer, while your elder scribbled something on a folded note. You didn't know then what was happening. But now you remember the drawer was locked. You remember them telling you never to go in. That drawer no longer exists. But the paper does. Somewhere. God says the clues are tied to your own pain. What you once thought were just losses were actually breadcrumbs. Every door closed to you since then was connected to this theft. You were being misdirected. The Spirit shows you a box. It's covered in dust. Inside it is something wrapped in red thread. Not gold. Not jewels. But something that unlocks everything else. A code. A deed. A confession. Your hands tremble. You haven't touched this place yet, but your soul already feels it. Someone nearby feels it too. But they do not tremble. They tighten. They are preparing. The Spirit says they sense you're getting close, and their mask is beginning to slip. Archangel Michael says heaven is watching now. The timing is divine. The earth beneath the vault is warming, the locks are growing loose. Not because of rust, but because truth cannot be chained forever. This Spirit will walk with you only so far. They have broken laws to arrive, pierced realms to whisper. You must do the rest. The vault is real. The treasure is yours. But what you choose to do with it will change generations. The Spirit fades. But before they go, they give you one more fragment, a whisper wrapped in fire. Look behind the wall that hums. Dig where the light never falls. Trust what burns your skin, not what soothes your fear. The message is seared into your soul. It has begun. Your breath catches as the temperature around you shifts. The Spirit is gone, but their warning lingers in the walls like smoke from an ancient fire. You can feel it now, something is unraveling, and someone nearby is watching you too closely. They wear your history on their face. You've laughed with them. You've cried in their arms. You've shared food, secrets, and time. But behind their smile is a vault of shadows. God says they know. Not just the truth, but your next steps. They can feel your awakening, and they are already moving to close the doors before you reach them. You thought they were grieving the same loss. But they were celebrating your distance from the truth. Their comfort was rooted in your ignorance, and now that your memory is returning, their hands tremble, not from guilt, but from fear. This person is not a stranger. They are in your photos. Their name is etched in family gatherings, echoed in old voicemails, layered in every story you believed was sacred. Archangel Michael says, "The eyes that watched you suffer also watched the key to your freedom get buried. They stood silently while the spirit that visited you screamed from the heavens, trying to intervene. You remember now how they offered to handle the funeral details. How they insisted you didn't need to attend the reading of the will. How they said there wasn't much left anyway. Lies braided into comfort. But the comfort was poison. Because buried beneath it was a document that held your future, a location scribbled in haste, locked away, then rewritten out of existence. You were not overlooked. You were targeted. God says the Spirit knew this would hurt. But they also knew you were ready. The truth will split your heart, but it will also free it. The person who betrayed you used their closeness like camouflage. While you mourned, they signed. While you healed, they altered. While you prayed, they planned. And now, their world is trembling because yours is rising. Archangel Michael says they have a copy. A photograph of the real will, burned at the corners but preserved in secret. A backup, kept in a metal box under floorboards, miles away from your home, in a place you've never visited, but whose name now stings your ears. The betrayal runs deeper than money. It's generational. The Spirit says this person once promised your ancestor to protect you. And instead, they chose silence. They chose gain. They chose to erase you. You feel the heat behind your eyes. Not tears, fire. Divine recognition. And just as suddenly, the world tilts again. Another vision crashes into you like a wave in a black sea, a room lit by candlelight, a circle of people arguing over an old photograph, a set of coordinates whispered under breath. One of them pointed to your name and said, "Not yet. They're too soft." And that's when the betrayal was sealed. They buried the location under fake signatures, rerouted funds through dead accounts, changed titles, and locked the vault beneath a property now lost to taxes, but never sold. The house still stands. But the name on the deed has been erased. God says the foundation of that house is sacred. That's where the Spirit placed the blessing. Not in plain sight. Not even underground. But behind a sealed wall, poured over, painted, forgotten. Until now. The betrayer knows it. They've returned to the house recently. You feel it in your body, tightness in your chest every time they speak about driving past old places. Their guilt has a rhythm now. They are avoiding you, but they are circling the vault. They want to move it before you arrive. But heaven is closing in around them. Archangel Michael says, they are no longer protected. What they took in silence will be returned in thunder. And you are the storm. The Spirit has transferred power into your body. Every strange dream, every moment of déjà vu, every flash of unfamiliar memory, it was a seed of divine truth, planted and growing. You are remembering. You are aligning. And the betrayer is unraveling. You are being pulled toward the vault not by chance, but by blood. The coordinates stitched in your bones. The whispers lined in your heartbeat. The betrayer will offer peace soon. A gift. An apology masked as generosity. But do not take it. It is a trap meant to reroute your intuition and keep you from the house. God says you are closer than you've ever been. The door is starting to loosen. The vault is breathing your name. But to open it, you must confront the betrayer, not with rage, but with truth. They will try to twist it. They will deny it. But the Spirit's voice will rise inside you when you speak. You don't need evidence. You are the evidence. You are the living proof of the injustice. And as their voice trembles and their story falls apart, the seal will crack. The door will open. The wealth will call for your touch alone. Archangel Michael says this moment has been divinely orchestrated for generations. Your ancestors' final act of protection was hiding the truth so well that only heaven could guide you to it. And now, heaven has. Time fractures in the air around you, a surreal bending where past, present, and future bleed into one another like spilled ink on worn parchment. The clock on the mantel has stopped. Its hands frozen at the hour when everything changed, the hour your family's secret was buried beneath betrayal and silence. Archangel Michael says the path to the secret location is no longer a simple journey. It is a test of your spirit and mind, an unraveling labyrinth where memories twist like shadows and every step echoes with the voices of those who came before you. You hold a torn map in your hands, edges frayed and ink faded by time and tears. It's a map not only of geography but of the soul, marked with symbols only your heart can decipher, the humming wall, the red thread, the pulse of light that never touches the floor. God says you must follow the rhythm of that map, even when it seems to lead nowhere. It will take you through abandoned rooms of memory and places where the air still tastes of sorrow and hope intertwined. You see the house again. It stands tall, though weathered by years of neglect, its windows like eyes staring blankly into a forgotten past. Behind one cracked wall, something waits, silent, patient, pulsing with divine promise. The air grows thick with tension. Your fingertips brush against peeling wallpaper, and suddenly you are pulled into a vision, the walls themselves whispering secrets, the floorboards breathing beneath your feet, a clockwork heartbeat syncing with your own. Archangel Michael says this is the moment where you confront time itself, where the broken clock's silence becomes a beacon. The past can no longer hide behind shadows. You walk through hallways where portraits hang crooked, faces blurred as if erased by betrayal's hand. Each step stirs dust and memory, and every breath carries the weight of unspoken promises and stolen legacies. The torn map reveals a hidden door, cleverly disguised within the woodwork. The lock is ancient, cold to the touch, but not unyielding. Your hands know the pattern, the pressure, the twist, the exact moment to listen for the softest click. God says this door is more than a barrier. It is a threshold between what was lost and what will be reclaimed. Beyond it lies not only wealth but the redemption of your family's name and the healing of wounds carried for generations. You step inside. Darkness greets you, thick and suffocating, yet within it, a single thread of red glows softly, the same thread whispered by the Spirit. You follow it deeper into the chamber. The room is small, filled with the scent of old earth and forgotten prayers. There, resting on a stone pedestal, is a chest wrapped in the red thread, sealed with a lock forged from the same divine light that guards the heavens. Your heart pounds with a mixture of fear and awe. This is the culmination of every whispered secret, every tear shed in silence. The Spirit's presence surrounds you, a silent sentinel watching as you reach out. Archangel Michael says that opening this chest is a divine act. It will unleash both blessing and justice. The wealth inside is not merely gold or silver, but a legacy of truth restored and chains broken. God says you are ready. Your spirit has been tempered by betrayal and pain, refined by the fire of revelation. When you break the seal, you will not only claim what is rightfully yours but also cast light on the shadows that have haunted your family for too long. You lift the lid slowly. Inside, you find documents, jewels, and artifacts. But more than that, you find the essence of a story reclaimed. The legacy that was almost lost now pulses in your hands like a living flame. Tears burn your eyes, but they are tears of victory. The broken clock begins to tick again, and the map's edges smooth out, signaling that the journey through time has mended the past. As the room fills with a golden light, you feel the presence of Archangel Michael beside you, his voice steady and sure. This is only the beginning. The justice you seek will ripple through realms. The Spirit's whisper lingers one last time. Hold fast to what you find here. It is not just wealth. It is the key to your freedom. The dawn breaks slowly, its light trembling like a promise through the shattered windows of your soul. The shadows that clung to you loosen their grip, unraveling beneath the touch of an unseen hand. The house breathes again, its spirit stirred by your discovery, as if awakening from a long, tortured slumber. Archangel Michael says the time of reckoning has arrived. The betrayer's web begins to unravel in the court of divine justice, where every whispered lie meets a thunderous truth. They stand exposed, their armor cracked by the light you now carry. God says, this is your moment to stand unyielding. The bloodline's curse is broken, and the inheritance flows through your veins like a river of fire and grace. What was stolen is returning, not just in riches, but in honor restored and spirits healed. You feel the weight of generations lifting from your shoulders, each breath drawing in the breath of those who came before, whose prayers have forged this path. The betrayal that once threatened to consume you is now fuel for your ascension. The betrayer approaches, their eyes wild, searching for mercy in a storm that knows none. But mercy is not theirs to claim, justice is the verdict, and the scales have tipped irrevocably. Archangel Michael's sword of truth hangs heavy in the air, a symbol of finality. It is not a weapon of vengeance, but a blade of release, severing the ties of deception and pain. God says you must forgive, not for their sake, but to free your own spirit from the chains of bitterness. The divine message is clear. Healing comes only when you rise above the darkness and embrace the light within. The house around you glows with a celestial fire, the walls humming with the energy of renewal. The secret location is no longer hidden, it is a beacon, a lighthouse for your soul's journey ahead. Your hands still clutch the chest, its contents now pulsing with a life beyond material worth. It is a testament to resilience, a testament to the divine promise that no darkness can hold for eternity. As the morning light floods the room, you feel Archangel Michael's presence wrap around you like a shield of stars. His voice is a balm and a command, walk forward with courage. The future is forged by those who dare to reclaim their destiny. God says your path is illuminated, your heart emboldened. You are no longer the shadowed child of betrayal but the radiant heir of a divine legacy. The Spirit's final blessing settles softly upon your soul, a whisper of peace, a fire of transformation, a surge of endless hope. And as you step into the new day, you know that this secret location of money was never just about wealth. It was about reclaiming your truth, your power, your divine right to rise. Archangel Michael says, your journey is far from over. But now, you walk with heaven's light at your back and the strength of generations in your stride. The betrayed become the victorious. The lost become the found. The night dissolves into a dawn painted with gold and grace. God says this is your blessing, your birthright, your awakening. Carry it forward with unwavering faith, for the heavens watch and the earth waits.